r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. Cashiers of Reddit. What items make you silently judge the people who buy them? When I worked at the liquor store, we only judged people if they came back several times a day. Edit. I only did this because it was illegal to sell alcohol to drunk people. When you have someone making multiple trips during a shift, they may be drunk. Whether or not they were an alcoholic wasn't my concern. But yes, I had to judge them. This was about 10 years ago, but the only time I judged someone was also when I lost a little faith in humanity. Guy in his late 20s comes through the line. Belt is filled with junk food, chips, chocolate, popcorn, candy, etc. The whole time I'm ringing him up, he's saying how glad he is to be out of the house, that the baby has a flu or something and he's at his wit's end. Fair enough, I suppose. I get to the total, tell him, and wouldn't you know, he's short a few dollars. So what does he put back? The only non-junk food item, children's cold and flu medicine. I still judge that man, and I don't even remember his face. I was a cashier for 3 years, and I can't think of a single thing that anyone bought that I judged them for. I certainly judged people for their attitudes, for inappropriately asking for a discount, or for various other petty things, but never for the items they were buying. Not in itself, but I always side-eye parents who'll buy my weight in booze and cigarettes, but then scream at their kid to put the bottle of juice back. The ethos water at Starbucks. We literally give out free water and it's way better than the ethos water, like, sir. I was a cashier at a pet store. The main thing I'd judge for was buying way too small of a habitat. Whether it was a goldfish bowl or a critter trail, I'd be upset. I try to use it as a teaching opportunity when possible, but not everyone would listen because it's just a fish, hamster, rabbit, etc. Especially lizards. They grow damn fast and people don't believe they need the special expensive lights either. They die without them. Don't get me started on the people who put baby iguanas in a 10 gallons and think it's an adult. I bought toilet paper and laxatives at the same time. Teenage cashier looked at it and got the giggles. This got the bagger laughing. I just stood there stupidly pretending it wasn't funny. I once had a guy in his 50s ask me if it was okay to buy his wife a box of hair dye for Mother's Day. I told him it probably wasn't a good idea, but he said oh well and bought it anyway. So, yeah, I judged him. Well, I don't know about judgment, as I have my own vices, as most people do, but lottery tickets. I get that gambling addiction is a problem and why, but unlike drinking or other drugs, it seems like so little reward for so much investment. People pissing away in minutes what it would take me all week to earn, right in front of my eyes, not even waiting to leave the store to scratch off a whole stack. Again, not really judgment. I don't know these people or their lives, but certainly the most upsetting on a certain level, I feel. Woman on a scooter with grey skin and on oxygen buying 2 huge jugs of wine and a carton of cigs. On one hand, WTF, you trying to die soon? On the other, if I was a little old lady shut in all day, I'd drink and smoke a lot too. I was a cashier 20 plus years ago. I hated it when people bought frozen kids dinners with food stamps and spent hundreds of dollars on alcohol and cigarettes. Anything of a large amount. I once saw a person buy like 15 boxes of Red Bull. The most concerning thing is that there were like 12. About once a week I go to Meijer and buy about 40 cans of cat food and nothing else. The cashier thinks I'm weird, I think. But they're the only store that consistently stocks the flavors my cat likes, and I do the rest of my shopping elsewhere. I worked as a cashier in high school and college. I only remember one combo that a customer brought through my register. It was a Friday afternoon, and an older gentleman brought up a large glass jug of red wine, the biggest tube of KY jelly we carried, and 2 potatoes. I didn't say anything, but I thought to myself, this guy has plans for the weekend. Pity, which is a judgment of a sort. I am overweight myself, but have a job where I still have to do physical labor and I get by. So while I could stand to lose a few dozen pounds, I am not breathing hard from walking down the block, or anything. When I see people who are at the point where their ankles look like they are about to give out, or that barely fit in the mobility scooter, buying a lot of sweets and not much else, I feel genuinely bad for them. I know how exhausted, out of breath, sore, and sweaty I get when I exercise, which is not often enough, and I can't imagine how terrible it must physically feel to be in that poor of shape. I try not to look down on, or scoff at their choices internally, because we all do what we must to cope with a tough and often cruel world, but man do I feel bad for them. I didn't judge people on what they bought, but I definitely judged them on what they returned. A woman once returned a bag of dirt as defective because when she opened it a fly flew out. Like, lady, it's dirt. Just put it in your yard and bugs will go in and out of it all day long. Still one of the stupidest things I ever saw. I didn't judge anyone for their purchases. I judged parents who let their kids run around the store like it's a playground. When I was a cashier on the express lane, I would silently judge the people that told me to wait while scanning their items to grab a few more things. Normal lane with a giant cart and only missing one thing is relatively okay, but the express lane? Judgment. Not items per se, but F those people who show up with a crap ton of coupons and buy the maximum amount for each one. When I worked at a grocery store we had to key them in by hand per item. I still remember this one lady who split her transaction into 4 so she could get 100 Powerades at 55 cents a piece. It was eye-opening how well coupons work on some people. I'd see the same customers on repeat buy whatever they had to buy to get the deal or freebie. Do you need any of this crap? You'd save more money not doing this at all and buying whatever you actually need. Not to be that guy, but people with very overweight young children and buying a whole bunch of candy, soda, and makeshift high-calorie heat-up foods or meals. I am in no way trying to tell people how to live their lives, but it would always make me sad seeing super overweight kids just getting set up like that. Literally the only thing that ever stood out to me was people late at night buying 6+ bottles of non-mint mouthwash. Absolutely 100% of the time they were drinking it. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.